Hey, I'm Megan.
And I'm Derek, and this is Finley, and we're the Average Adventurers. We're the Av Adventurers on Instagram. And we've realized it's been a little while since we've been on the road on our first trip, and we want to take some time to do a van tour because a lot of people have been asking for it, so we're going to do that today.
So we have a 2017 Dodge RAM Promaster 2500 with the high roof and a 136 wheelbase.
We got that for a number of reasons. One, we wanted to be able to sleep side to side in permanent bed, and that allowed us to fit inside of it. Neither of us are overly tall, so that was plenty of space for us. But also has good gas mileage, easy for us to stand in it, and it was within our price range as well.
And I think one of the most important things to note is why we chose to go with a van versus an RV or a pull-along is the fact that we can be considered a car, truck, or an RV. We can really fit in anywhere. We can parallel park in a city if we need to. We can go up a primitive dirt road and find an awesome camping. So it's kind of the best of everything.
Yeah, so before we start the tour, we are about 90% done. We're done with some things that we weren't quite able to wrap up that we want to add in the future, and we'll touch on what those are towards the end of the video. But there's a couple things that are not quite done, but we're almost there.
Yeah, most of it's just cosmetic. There are a few functional things we want to add as well. We're just keeping a list. You know, it's an ongoing project, and we're just kind of learning about the things that would make our lives more convenient as we travel.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
All right, so the first thing we're going to show you is the boring part of the van. It's the front where we sit. We have 2 seats, standard for this type of van, seat belts, all that. Some storage areas in here. We keep our water bottles, anything we may need to get to quickly that we have. Glove compartment, little storage area here. We have 2 inputs for our cell phone chargers or our USBs. There's also a car charger port, I don't know what you call that. Some cup holders, which these are actually really nice because they fit our Yeti bottles, and that's not always the case with cars. This is something that we added, this Pioneer radio. We wanted something touchscreen, something digital that would display our GPS and our Spotify and everything like that. So that's super nice. We had that done after we bought the van. This thing's kind of cool, this little clipboard. We can put paper and our passes and everything.
So one of the first things we did was install a fan, which is up top, and a window. So that was scary because we just paid all this money for this van, and then we were cutting holes into the metal. They ended up both working out perfectly, so just got a little side. This allows us to open and get a little bit of ventilation, and it works nicely with the fan. I'm going to show you up on top now. So we had a fantastic fan. It works really well, has a couple different settings. You can open it and close it to get some different airflow. It allows you to have air come in and act as a fan. It also allows you to suck air through and work as an exhale. Back here we have our solar panels, and right now you can tell we are not getting a whole lot of solar, but they have been working really well on the trip. We installed 2 100-watt Renogy ones, and we paired them together right in the middle. So that allows them to come in through one plug into our electrical system, which we'll talk about a little bit later towards the end of the tour. But these have been working really well and allowing us to have a lot of power, and at no point have we gotten close to losing any power. So it's been perfect so far, and we're happy that they're working. I'm really, really pleased with what we went with.
All right, so this next area is where we spend most of our time. It's where we live. So if you come in here, give you a quick show around. This is our kitchen area. The biggest thing with the van is just utilizing every space possible for storage. So we have a kitchen cabinet here. We have storage up here. We do most of our dry goods, our foods, coffee, things like that. Along the top, some paper products, snacks, breads. We installed an area to keep some of our cooking utensils, toothbrushes, since we use that so frequently, soaps, hand sanitizer. We actually use Velcro on the back of these to keep them from falling while we're driving. We also have, under here, we have a little trash can. We have some of our cleaning supplies, our bear spray, our towels, some extra stuff there. And then our drawers, utensils, just some basic items here. Some of our plates, bowls, coffee makers, coffee cups, cutting board, extra towels to do our face at night. And then some of the bigger items, we did bring our Ninja with us. It's super nice to make smoothies. Plugs right in. A strainer, mixing bowl, pots, pans, some tin foil, again, some extra towels. What we did was we put pretty heavy duty magnets on the back of these so that they don't fly open while we're driving, and they just connect there, which has worked mostly well. In the back here, we have a little fold out table that we'll use to, eat dinner if it's raining or the weather's not good. We play card games, things like that. These are awesome. These cover all of our windows in the van for privacy and to keep the heat out. And then we keep some water jugs back there as well for extra drinking water. This area is our laundry room. We just keep our hamper here so when we do wash and when we get changed, it's easy access. There is an emergency jack under here in case we were to need that. One of my favorite parts about the van are the floors. I just love the natural look to them. That's kind of what we were going for. And then again with storage, we opted to put in 2 bucket bench seats, which was such a good idea. We're so happy we did that. So not only is it a seat, but it doubles as storage. So we got these cushions, and then if you look up here, they're on hinges. Finley's dog food is under here, our 1 burner grill, some backpacks, dry packs, some fitness gear, extra toilet paper. And then this one, we keep all of our electronics in here. We keep Finley's bag full of treats, toys, all that good stuff. We've actually started collecting stickers and putting them underneath of all the places we've been so far. And then on our slider door, we wanted an area where we could display pictures and different stuff. It's not quite finished yet. I need to add more corkboard. But I found this really cool vintage wallpaper at a thrift store. So we basically just took plywood. I did adhesive to this, and then I stuck the cork boards here. And we've just been putting up Polaroids and national park maps and everything like that.
All right, next we're going to take you back to the garage in a little bit, but I want to talk about a couple things that are up here first. So our water system, we got our water tanks from RAM Pro USA, and they've been working really, really well. So we'll provide a link down there to their website. They have tons of stuff for camper vans and for RVs. Our faucet we actually bought off Amazon. It's really, really nice. We're super excited about it. It can tilt back and forth, which is nice when doing dishes or brushing teeth. It can also come off. And back behind here is the switch to our water pump. So if you flick that on, and now we have power here and water will run through. So that actually works really nice and just drains down into a gray tank. A lot of people have their gray water go straight out the bottom, and we decided not to do that. Most of our water is fairly clean, but we just didn't want to be dumping any kind of dirty water anywhere. So it empties down into a gray tank, which you can see is right here, which we have to empty every once in a while. It's actually fed through a water pump that's down underneath here, and our freshwater tank, which is in the back as well. So that has been working really, really well. Okay, so let's go to the back and see what is going on back there.
Another thing to mention too, we do have a little electrical plug here, USB and standard traditional plugs. That's really nice. It's hooked up to our power source. Some extra shelving as well. Derek built those. That might not be a long-term solution, but for now, it's working really well.
One other thing I want to show you while we're here in the front is the refrigerator that we went with. So this is a Dometic dual zone 75 liter fridge, which is probably a little bit more than what we need, but we love it. This is actually one of the things that we want to finish yet in our build, but so far it's been working really well. It has controls in the front here, which show us the temperatures for each of the zones. But this allows us to do a lot of cooking exactly like we would do it at home. Some of the same meals that we make at home, a lot of fresh food. We can also have frozen food, which works really well on the road, to have frozen vegetables, frozen fruit, and just some other things that we would use for meals. But the storage area has been very big, and has worked really well. And it's nice because we enjoy drinking a beer or two at the end of each night. So with a bigger fridge like this, we're able to keep some beer and keep it cold. We also don't have to worry about ice. It's super quiet. We don't hear it run at all during the night. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to get it. But also the display doesn't show a very bright light. There's actually a settings that dim the light too. So that's something that can distract you or keep you from sleeping a little bit if you have too bright of a display. And some of the coolers do have that. It's also chest, so we open up and we pull our stuff out from here, which allows a lot of the coolness to stay inside the fridge and not escape like a standard open up fridge. So it's been working really, really well. It's a little bit expensive, but I think it's totally worth the money.
All right, and then one of the last things I want to talk about while we're inside here is our loft bed. We knew we wanted a raised bed because we needed the storage space underneath. So basically, if you look under here, we built this wall, and then underneath the mattress is it's wood. And there's a design and a pattern to help keep that sturdy, and it's attached to the wall. So we ultimately would like to put up some netting. Maybe we found that, you know, when we go to bed, it's nice to have that to put phones in, glasses, things like that. But we have another set of cabinets up here, which is where we keep our clothes. We use travel bags here to keep things organized and utilize the space up above. We have our pot lights up here. Those are really nice. They give off good light. We also have a hat shelf rack over here to keep those together. We have curtains. They are blackout curtains, which is super helpful if you're not wanting to wake up with the sun. They're on a curtain rod there that's permanently placed in. And then on the back of the doors, we actually have those wood panels with 2 hooks. Those are nice for drying towels or clothes or hanging our laundry line. We can also hang our solar shower from there as well. And then one thing that I did want to mention is our mattress. So big question that what we get a lot is that people are like, how do you find a custom mattress? Because this is not quite a full, this is not quite a queen, it's kind of in between. So we ordered online a foam mattress, and you can customize whatever size and depth that you want. So this is almost the size of a full bed, and it's about a 5-inch foam mattress. And then we have a 2-inch down alternative plush topper, which really helps to make it super comfy. Just a standard down alternative comforter with a duvet cover, extra throw blanket in case it gets cold, some pillows.
All right, so we're gonna take you back into the garage. Most of this is just storage, and actually our fridge in there takes up a lot of that space. So we have our freshwater tank permanently placed right in here, and we actually have some wood panels down the floor that keep it in place. This is our attachment so we can easily fill our freshwater tank, which has worked fairly well. We had to figure out a little bit as far as how much water can go in at a time, but since then it's been working great. We covered both the wheeled bases with one of these boxes and put a little bit of a lip on each so you can have different things that go in storage on top. So we have our chairs and just some odds and ends that we need. On the other side we have some clothing and a toolbox in the back, so that's really nice just for some extra storage. We put one of these mats down just because we have things like our grill, our fridge, our electrical that we wanted to not be bouncing around the hard floor. And that leads us, I guess, into the electrical. So we got a Yeti Goal Zero 1500. This thing has been working very, very well, and it's super easy. We had to buy both these adapters so it would fit into this plug because it's not a typical battery that you would use. It's kind of an all-in-one. So this is the battery, it's the inverter, and it provides all different sources of power that we would need during our trip. So over here we have the AC. We turn that button, that turns everything on, and that powers that switch that we saw inside in the kitchen area. We decided just get one that's like an extension instead of running full wires, and that gives us 2 ports. It also gives us 2 USB ports, and powers everything from our coffee maker. We have a fan that goes in there. We've been using the Ninja. All those types of things have been working really, really well. So that's perfect. The 12 volt over here, that plugs directly into our fridge, so we didn't have to run anything. And then below it, we have an adapter that runs into our fuse box. Our fuse box runs 4 lines that go to both of our light switches. It goes to our fan and goes to our water pump. if we want to or need to, we can just pull all these plugs out, and the Yeti's able to carry it and take it out and go, you know, take it on the go. We can also plug it into any outlet to help charge it that way. Right now, what we have coming in, the input is just from the solar, and right now it's showing that we're getting 0 in because we're in the shade, but typically when we are in sunlight, we get 150 to 160 watts of energy coming in, which has been more than enough to power our trip. We have a couple little nettings in here on the back and some hooks up on the top, which allow us just to, you know, hang some towels if they're wet, some clothes if they're wet, and just some extra storage for things that we use a lot, like our propane here.
And this is the hose that we attach to our freshwater tank. So we'll use a spigot, whether it be at an RV park, another campground, a lot of gas stations, travel stops, national parks. They all have these hookups that we can use. So it's an easy way to get water into our tank.
Yep, so that is pretty much the build and what we have so far. So in the beginning, we mentioned a couple things that we wanted to finish with the van. We are about 90% done. So there's a lot of little cosmetic things that Megan mentioned.
Yeah, just touching up paint, finishing up some trim, covering up some screws, painting those to match the color of the walls, things like that.
Yeah, but there's two main things that we really want to add. The first one is one that we thought about doing the whole time, but we just kind of ran low on time before our trip began. And that's to put a pull-out table between our 2 bench seats in the kitchen area. Instead of having, you know, we have a portable table right now that we get in and out, but that's just another thing that we don't have to worry about having. And we can sit down, pull it out, and allow us to sit and play games, sit and do some work on a computer, or editing with cameras, eat dinner if it's raining outside, just a lot of flexibility.
It also offers some extra counter space too, so you know, if we're trying to cook and we need to cut up vegetables or whatever, and you know, you can do that over there, while if it's raining, the burner's over on the other counter, so just trying to utilize the space to the fullest.
And then we showed you the fridge that we have and how we pull it in and out. Right now, it's on a towel or a blanket that allows it to easily slide in and out. We want to put that on a track system, so it's kind of like a drawer where we can pull it in and out very easily, and still allow us to get in and out of the fridge.
That'll probably be one of the first things we do when we get back. We also want to put a door on that area, so it's not just that cutout with the pull, and it'll have a handle, so we can open it, pull out the fridge, close it, so it just looks a little bit nicer.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, please comment and let us know what the questions are below. We would love to cover anything that you either have questions about, or we skipped, or you would do to help your build or change your build.
Yeah, and if you have a moment, you know, go over to Instagram, check out our Instagram. It's The Av Adventurers, and you can message us there. You can see some of our travels, our photos of the van, and everything like that.
Yeah. We'll link that below also. But also make sure if you like this video and you want to come with us on the rest of the trip, we're going to be posting a lot of videos, a series of our adventures on the road and some of the stops that we're making along the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and of course like the videos that you see. You can check out some of the old videos about the van build that we put together.